Alright, peace, black family. It's, of course, Onitaset Kumat, author of the Book of Power. Of course, I wrote the Pro Black Compendium. And of course, I wrote Zubiri and the Ruins of my Eye. But I want you to understand, and of course, I plan on writing more stuff, you already know. But I want you to know that I wrote the Book of Power. And of course, I have the book preview right there in the description. So all you got to do is just get up, click it, and you could read all this stuff for yourself. Right now, we're gonna go over. This is after the speech section. We have like the essay section, I believe. Right? Let me just double check. Oh no, I think this is still the speech section. Right? This is the speech section, but I'm gonna tell you this is technically an essay. This is from David Walker's Appeals. I'm gonna probably read it a little bit faster. Not examine page line by line. I'm not too sure. I just said, let me just turn this page and just engage you, because I like engaging you guys. And plus, I'm gonna play that ad. That ad was fire, and it's y'all sleeping on it. You know what I mean? You're sleeping on it, so I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna wake you up. That's it. So what can I tell you about David Walker's Appeal and my rendition of over here? Obviously, I don't use the G word. I don't use that Christian nonsense. I use Amon. You know what I mean? I go back to what our ancestors were doing. And of course, this here is David Walker, and this comes after an essay called The Law of Ma'at. I don't know if I read it already for you, but like I said, you go into this it's in the preview and it's in the book. So, this is like one of the most powerful essays like ever written. Yeah, well, actually, I don't think I. Yeah, it's one of the powerful essays ever written, or speeches, if you will. And I want you to you gotta grasp like what ma'at means. But what I do here is I show you David Walker, and David Walker is not necessarily going by ma'at. I'm not too sure. Maybe possibly because like they said, Martin Delaney was reading Mad Nature, so you don't know, right? But the point being here that this is our African ethics, and you could see it in like most of our African ancestors. You get what I'm saying? So we're gonna go to David Walker right now, and this is called "If You Commence, Make Sure to Finish." So I'm gonna give you the preview, the preface. It's just a paragraph, but let's say, while technically an essay, Baba here delivers to us a description of the depravity of the Askari value system, but also a message for the would-be warriors, which is finish your work. You do something, finish it. All right. The Askari are everywhere, and black gullibility and naivete is even more widespread. Your objective is to counter this. It's no surprise that within a year of publishing this essay in the work known as David Walker's Appeals, our enemies killed our Baba. Oh shoot. Okay, so they kill him after this. Luckily, I'm living pretty long, I guess, but that's because y'all not even reading. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you were reading the book, maybe I'd be dead. But yeah, so I'm sure I might have to be like, it's not like I gotta weigh it out now. I'm like, okay, I guess I get longer on Earth. You know what I'm saying? And actually pretty cool right here. 61 of 183 pages. That's exactly a third. So yeah, just math shit. I'm gonna make it a little bigger. All right, so let's see. It's said that this work inspired Nat Turner. So Nat Turner did some warfare, and he probably, we're thinking, he probably said, he read David Walker, and he was like, okay, let's put in some work, But of course, as usual, like I said, I edited out the A spirituality, but make a special note of Baba's description of Amon's enemies, our right to kill, and how easy it is to kill. Like he tells you, it's pretty damn easy to kill. All right. So notice the law of Ma'at is ubiquitous among Africans and merely needs to be awakened. And this is what the Boko is for. So look, the goal here is that you're going to build institutions. We're going to build institutions. That's the Boko. Okay, we can awaken the intelligence of our people, but we have to have institutions, and that's really like what you're going to grasp here. And you don't want just institutions. You want institutions that can bring about a nation, and that's really the science I'm going to break down to you when you get this book. But of course, you got to get the book. All right, so let's go to this right here. It says, when my curious observer comes to take notice of those who are said to be free, an assertion I deny, He will see that branch of ignorance among the enslaved assuming a more cunning and deceitful course of procedure. He may see some of my brethren in league with tyrants, selling their own brethren into the worst pains on Ptah, not dissimilar to the exhibitions in Africa, but in a more secret, servile, and abject manner. Oh, Aman, I am full. I can hardly move my pen, and as I expect some will try to put me to death to strike terror into others, and to obliterate from their minds the notion of freedom, so as to keep my brethren the more secure in wretchedness, where they will be permitted to stay but a short time, whether tyrants believe it or not, I shall give the world development of facts which are already witnessed in the courts of the hereafter. My observer may see some of those ignorant and treacherous creatures, askari, sneaking about in the large cities, endeavoring to find out about all strange African people, where they work and where they reside, asking them questions and trying to ascertain whether they are runaways or not, telling them at the same time that they have been, are, or always will be friends to their brethren, and perhaps that they themselves are absconders, and 1,000 such treacherous lies to get the better information of the more ignorant. Now, if you don't get the old way of writing, he's saying that back in the day, all right, when black folk were running away from enslavement, there were black folk pretending to be runaways or asking questions, going around trying to sell these black folk back to the Eurasian enslavers. Okay, so there's always going to be a scarcity, and you have to understand that a lot of these people have descendants. Shoot, a lot of you guys got the blood of these freaking race traders. You have to understand that. Like, you have to understand that. And if you don't understand that, that's on you. But you know, like I said, I got people listening just to do me in. You know what I mean? You might be like, but only, man, you know, how you got people listening and you only got so many listeners? You understand? Like, it's that serious. But let's keep going. But where am I at? There have been and are at this day in Boston, New York, Philadelphia, and Baltimore askari men who are in league with tyrants and who receive a great portion of their daily bread through the monies which they acquire from the blood and tears of their more miserable brethren, whom they scandalously delivered into the hands of our natural enemies. To show the force of degraded ignorance and deceit among us further, I will give here a summary of an incident on Basotho 5th, 1829 WP, so that's 1829, wherein 3 whites drove 60 Africans to Mississippi. Okay, so Mississippi, you know, it got, what is it? It got 4 eyes but can't see, right? But yeah, Mississippi is... so driving 60 Africans means that you got Africans enslaved, and these 3 white folk are bringing 60 Africans enslaved. You know, this is technology, chains and all that. But look here, the men were handcuffed and chained together, but the women and children were without encumbrance. Imagine that, right? It's supposed that by means of a file unobserved, the African had succeeded in separating from the iron. It's supposed that by means of a file, right? So, you know, they filed it down, unobserved. The Africans had succeeded in separating from the iron that bound their hands in such a way as to be able to throw them off at any moment. Okay, so around 8 in the morning, 2 of them dropped their shackles and pretended to fight. Okay, they pretended. This is the art of warfare. You know, all warfare is based on deception. So they pretended to fight. When the white wagoners rushed in with his whip to compel them to desist, every African revealed that they were perfectly at liberty. So one of them seized a club and laid the wagoner dead in one mighty blow on the head. Another of the white men came to his assistance and met a similar fate by way of pistol. The last white man was also attacked, seized and held by an African, while another fired twice with the pistol, each time the bullet only grazing his head. As the pistol was ineffective, the white man was beaten with clubs and left for dead. The African then pillaged the wagon and split the onboard trunk with an axe, earning around $2,400. 16 then took to the woods. Meanwhile, the last attacked white man, not dead, was assisted by one of the women to mount a horse and flee. So he wasn't dead. So this black woman, she said, "Oh, well, I mean, I'll help you get on this horse. Get out, go, run for your life." He was pursued by one of the men on another horse, but escaped and arrived on a plantation to mobilize the white neighborhood to pursue and recapture all 60. That's including the black woman and most of the money. 7 of the men and a woman were brought to trial for the 2 murders. Okay. Here, my brethren, I want you to notice, particularly in the above description, the ignorant and deceitful actions of this Askari woman. I beg you to view it candidly as for eternity. Here, a notorious wretch with 2 other Confederates had 60 of them in a gang, driving them like brutes, the men all in chains and handcuffs, and by the help of a man, they got their chains and handcuffs thrown off and caught 2 of the wretches and put them to death and beat the other until they thought he was dead and left him for dead. However, he deceived them, and rising from the ground, this servile woman helped him upon his horse, and he made his escape. Brethren, what do you think of this? Was it the natural fine feelings of this woman to save such a wretch alive? I know that the blacks, take them half enlightened and ignorant, are more humane and merciful than the most enlightened and refined Eurasians that can be found in all the Ptah. Okay? Let no one say that I assert this because I am prejudiced on the side of my race and against the whites or Eurasians. For what I write, I do it candidly, for Aman and the good of both parties. Natural observations have taught me these things. There is a solemn awe in the hearts of the blacks as it respects murdering men, which is the reason the whites take the advantage of us. Now, I mean, this is right here something that you gotta I was gonna change. I want you to understand these two sentences here are so potent. Okay, I'm gonna go back. You could do the rewind voice for yourself. Whatever, you can do that for yourself. All right. I know that the blacks, take them half enlightened and ignorant, are more humane and merciful than the most enlightened and refined Eurasians that can be found in all the Ptah. Okay, Ptah being the earth. Okay. So he's saying, look, they're the least merciful, right? The least enlightened and the most ignorant of black folk are still more merciful and more humane than the most enlightened and refined Eurasian. And that's the truth. And the other one, of course, is this. Natural observations taught me these. There's a solemn awe in the hearts of blacks as it is respecting murdering men, which is the reason the whites take advantage of us. See, white people can murder you at the blink of an eye, but you might blink. I mean, you might be like, well, should we kill him? Should we? Because of that, whites take advantage of you. Well, he learned his lesson. That's how you say. He learned his lesson. White people don't learn. Like one thing I know. One time, this is my issue. My issue is this. This is why I don't want to fight people, because I understand. My brother taught me a long time ago. Okay, my brother taught me. My older brother, like blood brother, that if you almost kill a person, but you don't, right? They're gonna come try to kill you, or they're gonna try to come get you. You understand? Because like one time I was choking this, unfortunately it happened. It happens. He was choking my brother, and then I stopped, and he all, he goes, runs away, catching his breath. Then he got his breath, and he comes back, and he just like wallops on me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, that's what you, but that's how when you understand that as a concept, you realize that that's how it is a lot of times. Like if you go into a fight with if two black folk fighting honestly, right? They fight, one wins. It's like, all right, have a nice day, man. Right? You fight a white boy, right? You beat his ass, he might come back with a gun, shoot your dumb ass for not killing him. You understand? And I mean, like I said, it's not just white and black, because like I said, my brother did the same thing. I mean, he didn't kill me, obviously, but still, like revenge. People have revenge. People take revenge. You have to understand that. You know, this white boy, after this, you know, I mean, I want to say sister, but you know, you could say after this, a Scotty woman, right? After she done let this white boy up, what she expect him to do? Just be like, okay, well, I lost all these black folk. But at least I have my life, so I'm just gonna go back to... No! He's like, holy shit, that's a lot of money. First off, they took $2,400. Second of all, they all enslaved Africans. Of course I'm gonna go freaking get them back. Cause I have buyers waiting for me. My reputation's on the line. Anyway, y'all listen to this song right here. I'm about to listen to this right here.
Okay, so I know books, alright? So let me tell you about a book. Alright, check it. So the goal and objective is to be selective, electing for knowledge with the black directive, checking sources, heritage, and legacies, with the brilliance to defeat our nemesis. The book of power, so aptly named, esteemed and famed for informing the brain, and doing the same as the ancestors before us. Sankofa, that's the life chorus. Wisdom is the key against dangers. Either change the leaders or lead the changes. We are due in Africa with no strangers. Do you hear us? Okay, hold on. We can't continue to beat the second fiddle. African power is the end of this riddle. To build a nation, the likes which never existed. The motto heretofore, we persisted. Better, we resisted. Best, we build it. We'll raise the roof and break through the ceiling. Peeling away the change we were given to stop just surviving, start thriving and living. Africa's about to host superpowers. China and US back up in time hours. No one can be free without freeing themselves. But freedom is shown and owned on bookshelves. Right? Book of power, a key for liberation. There's no domination where there's education, because ignorance is man's main weakness. All are exploited if we don't teach this. Then the pages of sages, kings and queens. Alcohol, the lady, Dessalines, Niere, Garvey and Singer and Cooks.
What?
500 pages to pass the books. Craft is told to bring up a confident. You will hold the tone for the confident. Have some pride and push forward your chest.
Right?
Leaders, by reading
One of the best.
The book has science,
Comforts, violence, self-reliance. Listen up.
and does away with silence.
Okay.
Time has come for the work to get done.
Right.
Build up a land that be second to none.
We'll organize, technologize, strategize a new Africa before our eyes, and blackness will be full.
Complexion we see. Anytime we envision
What it means to be free. So come join
minds, read what is written.
Right.
Here be solutions.
No longer hidden.
Nothing worse than theory. All that works and
worse.
So it's time to
Come
put
on.
ourselves first. Change the leaders and lead the changes.
Yo,
Tell your friends, family, and neighbors. Change
y'all not
the
even doing that. I
leaders
told you,
and
tell
lead
your
the
friends,
changes.
tell your friends, families, and neighbors. Where your friends
Change
at?
the leaders
Where your
and
family
lead the
at?
changes.
Where your neighbors
Tell your
at?
friends,
Come on.
family, and neighbors. Change
Yo.
the leaders and lead the changes.
Come on.
Book of power.
That should be on your freaking
So the
word.
power
Alright.
can be purchased on Amazon.
To Lindy.
Click on the link.
You already know.
Alright, send me ammo.
Get this pumped up. To Lindy my eye. To Shinde is fat. To Lindy my eye. To Shinde is fat. Up. Yeah. Hope tap. Hope tap. I was talking to that echo thing. I was like, you know what? Should I? Alright. Alright, haven't touched me this solemn awe in the hearts of blacks and respecting. Alright, so whereas the whites, despite being great cowards, and this is the thing, despite being great cowards, whenever they have the advantage or think they are any prospects of getting it, they murder all before them in order to subject men to wretchedness and degradation under them. See that? Like, I mean, this is the stuff that you, like, this is the book that you can have. You understand? I mean, obviously, you might be like, well, I could just get Martin Delaney's. Yeah, you could. I mean, I could just get David Walker's. Yeah, get that. Get it. Duh. I'm not saying don't get that. I'm saying that you got it all in one book already. Like, are you paying attention? Whereas the whites, despite being great cowards, wherever they have the advantage or think there are any prospects of getting it, they murder all before them in order to subject men to wretchedness and degradation under them. This is the natural result of pride and avarice, but I declare the actions of this black woman are really insupportable. For my own part, I cannot think it was anything but servile deceit combined with the most gross ignorance. For we must remember that humanity, kindness, and ma'at does not consist in protecting Eurasians like this, dude. Yo, This is an ancestor. And you're not even get, like, I'm telling you, this book got all this in it, and you just like, well, I mean, what should I read next? I should probably read Rich Dad Rich. Yeah, like, what? Hey, mommy, get this book. Like, are you kidding me? Here is a set of wretches who had 60 of them in a gang, driving them around the country like brutes to dig up gold and silver for them, which they will get enough of yet. Should the lives of such creatures be spared? Are Ma'at and Isfet in league? What has Aman to do with a gang of desperate wretches who go sneaking about the country like robbers, light upon his people whenever they can get a chance, binding them with chains and handcuffs, beat and murder them as they would rattlesnakes? Are they not Aman's enemies? Ought they not be destroyed? Any person who will save such wretches from destruction is fighting against Ma'at and will receive her just recompense. The black men acted like blockheads. The black men acted like blockheads. Look at the brothers. David Walker's writing this 18. This was. I don't remember what year he wrote this. I feel like he wrote it in 1854. I can't remember, but this is from 1829. He's like, look, man, these black men were acting like blockheads. Why did they not make sure of the wretch? He would have made sure of them. Why did he make sure? Why didn't they make sure to kill this white boy? Because this white boy would have made sure to kill them. If he could, it is just the way with black men. 8 white men can frighten 50 of them. How that make sense? How 8 white men can frighten 50 black men? Whereas if you can only get courage into the blacks, I do declare that 1 good black man can put to death 6 white men. Okay? 1 black man could put to death 6 white men. I'm telling you, man, look, white people want to come after me, they already know. They be like, oh, we got 7 of us. You know what I'm saying? That's what they said. They're like, oh, who the 7th? That's what they say. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I'm not privy to their conversation, but I'm telling you, they know 1 good black man can take on 6 white men, so they say to themselves, we're the 7th. You understand? And I give it as a fact. Let 12 black men get well armed for battle, and they will kill and put to flight 50 whites. The reason is the blacks, once you get them started, they glory in death. The whites have had us under them for more than 3 centuries, murdering and treating us like brutes. And as one said, they have never found us out. They do not know, indeed, that there is an unconquerable disposition in the breasts of the blacks, which, when it is fully awakened and put in motion, will be subdued only with the destruction of the animal existence. Get the blacks started, and if you do not have a gang of tigers and lions to deal with, I am a deceiver of the blacks and of the whites. How 60 of them could let that wretch escape unkilled, I cannot conceive. They will have to suffer as much for the 2 whom they secured as if they had put 100 to death. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you kill 2, you gotta suffer as if you killed 100. So why didn't you just kill this 3rd one? Oh, I'm gonna beat you up, man. I'm gonna beat you up. Why? You know what I'm saying? If you already done murdered somebody, just murder. You ain't gonna get it like, oh well, he only murdered 2 of us. He only murdered 2 people, so let's give them the benefit of the doubt. If you commence, make sure to finish. That's the thing right there. This is the reason why I don't encourage the American scene, because the reality is that in the American scene you can't finish. So why are you even commencing? That's why I'm trying to figure out. If you can't finish in America, why are you commencing? You understand? There's no finishing with your lack of organization, your infrastructure. You can't finish. You know what I'm saying? You talking about you already outnumbered heavily, and you already have no troops, you have no soldiers. So it's just like, what are you doing now in Africa? You could finish. You understand? When you're the majority, you could finish. If the majority gets revolution and the majority wants it. And you could make the majority want it. If the majority wants it, you could finish. And you already know what I'm talking about. Don't play dumb. Okay? And he says, so let's go back to this reading. If you commence, make sure to finish. Do not trifle, for they will not trifle with you. They want us for their slaves and think nothing of murdering us in order to subject us to that wretched condition. Therefore, if there is an attempt made by us, kill or be killed. Now I ask you, had you not rather be killed than to be enslaved by a tyrant who takes the life of your mother, wife, and dear little children. Look upon your mother, wife, and children and answer Amun, and believe this, that it is no more harm for you to kill a man who is trying to kill you than it is for you to take a drink of water when thirsty. In fact, the man who will stand still and let another murder him is worse than a traitor, and if he has common sense, ought not to be pitied. The actions of this deceitful and ignorant Askari woman in saving the life of a desperate wretch whose avaricious and cruel object was to drive her and her companions in miseries through the country like cattle to make his fortune on their carcasses are but too much like that of thousands of our brethren in these states. If anything is whispered by one which has any allusion to the amelioration of their dreadful condition, they run and tell tyrants that they may be enabled to keep them the longer in wretchedness and miseries. And this is something you have to understand. This was called meritorious manumission. Right? Manumission means, you free an enslaved person. Meritorious means you earn your freedom. And how you going to earn your freedom? By betraying your race. By betraying your race. That's meritorious manumission. That's on the books, and it's still on the books. Look it up. Okay? Look up the word meritorious. Like meritorious manumission. The letter mission. Look it up. I'm telling you. Right now, you're like, what should they do? Should they finish listening to this thing? No, look it up. Look it up. All right? Look up meritorious manumission, and you're going to understand what's going on in these different countries. Okay? You're going to understand that how white people, because you have to understand, when you have power, you think in a different way. And this is the kind of way that I want you to think. Now, you might not have power right away after reading this, but you'll understand how to build it. You'll understand how to build it. Okay? You'll understand what it takes. And you'll understand, hey, look, if I read this and I get it, and then somebody else read it, you see somebody else with this book. Because I'm telling you, carry around this book. Walk around with this book. See somebody else walking around this book. You know they got it too. Some of y'all can start talking about real building. Not this nonsense y'all already doing. Oh my gosh, this white boy, he did it. Like, that's what you're doing right now. Take that out. Get it out. All right, the Africans, I ask you, let me get into this thing. Africans, I ask you in the name of Amun, who made us, have we in consequence of oppression nearly lost the spirit of man, and in no very trifling degree adopted that of brutes? Do you answer no? I ask you then, what set of men can you point to me in all the world who are so abjectly employed by their oppressors as we are by our natural enemies? How can those enemies but say that we and our children are not of the human family, but were made by Amun to be an inheritance to them and theirs forever? How can the enslaver but say that they can bribe the best African in the country to sell his brethren for a trifling sum of money, and take that atrocity to confirm them in their avaricious opinion that we were made to be enslaved by them and their children? That's it. Now, you see, I put Amun, because you already know what that Christian stuff was inside this thing. But you see, like, even like changing the naming, you see that he had an interesting perspective of Christianity. But I still don't want to use those terms. Either way, that right there, that's one of the, like, this is so much in this book. Like, I'm saying to myself, like, okay, when you produce things, right, you say to yourself, let me produce something that I would want to read, I would want to engage. This is like something that I wish somebody gave me. I wish somebody said, Oni, yo, because look, real talk, I went to a bookstore once and I was like, what book should I read? And the dude was like, he recommended like 3 books. He said, first he said David Walker. I'm like, that's must. So yeah, y'all already know I put that in. Then he said Nearly Full of Junior's nonsense. And I was like, I looked at it like, I don't know, kind of want some more history. He's like, okay, Robin Walker's When We Ruled, But like, that's the experience that, like that was a unique experience for me. You know what I mean? That was an experience, that was my experience, right? And here, I'm giving it to you. I'm thinking of that young man walking into a black bookstore saying, what should I read? And this is what the Book of Power is. It's like, what should I read? Oni, what should I read? What should I be thinking about? What's the, and this is what I'm saying. Like, it's like Book of Power's already like, yo, you should read David Walker, you should read Marcus Garvey, you should read Yahya Santawa, you should read, like, this is what the Book of Power is like, yo, I do, you should read Julius Nyerere, you should read Maurice Bishop, like this is the next level. Okay, this is the graduation, and I hope you realize that. I hope you recognize that. I hope you take it to heart. I want to see some sales. I want to be like, yo, this is they listening. They engage in the work, but like yo, I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you getting the book, and I want to hear from you the next one. Drop a comment below. Join the Discord. Okay, like I said, you join the Discord, you get access to all sorts of stuff. Okay, I'm giving out stuff free, period. But like outside of that, this is the preview right here. It's got all this juice, but like you already know, the book itself is even more fire. You understand? And you see, like, you want young people to engage this stuff. This is David Walker, yo. Oh man, like, this brings back memories. Okay. But thank you so much for listening. Thank you for engaging. And hey, look, I put the lyrics for that song. I know that song tight, so don't even play me. I put the lyrics for that song in that video, so click on that video. Let me know what you think about that song. All right, and yo, if you think you could spit it better than me, and it's possible. I mean, I doubt it, but it's possible, right? I mean, there's some people out there who can spit, obviously. But if you can spit it better, yo, just spit it with me. Like, spit it, like, sure, I don't care. Like, and that's another thing, too. Like, if you want to read this speech, like, you have a child reading this right here, but my curious story, like, come on. Oh, man. Get this book, and, let's do this. Boko wa se na keru. Tulende ma'at tushinde is fat. You understand? Like, Nitaya too. Like, come on. We have to change the destiny of our people. Like, this is the time is now. All right, the time is now. But thank you for listening, and Shemi Amotep, and appreciate you.